However, the Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, hats off to him. They ran like a perfect blitz, just distracted Josh from everything. They got through real quick, and he just basically had to heave one up at the end there, and just they couldn't come down with it. Episode 8. Welcome back, Borderline Sports Podcast. Had the championship games go down this weekend. I'm going to be bringing you guys some new segments this week to start tapping into the NBA a little bit more. Um, and just, yeah, football's almost wrapped up here. So time to start looking towards some other sports. However, we still got the 2022 rematch. How we feeling over there and where you're at?
Yeah, good. Kind of hit on it. Football is almost done here. Getting ready to start talking about some other sports more in depth, but got a Super Bowl episode planned next week for you guys, and so we'll kind of save, most of it for that. But um, recap the two championship games we had. So let's get into it. Kick it off, dude.
All right, starting off with our winners and losers from this last week. Why don't you kick it off here first?
So winners this week for me. I mean, obviously both the teams that advanced to the Super Bowl. They got the Eagles going back, and the Chiefs going back to back to back. So um, congrats to both their fan bases. Excited to watch the Super Bowl, see what happens, see if repeat of the 2022 game or what changes there. But good work by both teams.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm going to play off that a little bit and go into my winner. I got, for my winner this week, I got T Swift, man. She has now been a football fan for 2 years and is going to her second Super Bowl, along with her entire fan base. And I've now seen two Super Bowls in 2 years and what could end up being two championships in 2 years. So, I'd say that's more than the average lifelong fan usually gets to experience if you combine all the teams. I'm not sure what the exact statistics are there, but two Super Bowls in 2 years is something to just be extremely proud of.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the Vikings for sure.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, I haven't seen any. I haven't seen nothing yet. So you're lucky to have witnessed at least.
I got two in my life.
Yeah. Well, first one was you were like one,
A couple months old, but whatever.
couple
Point
months.
stands. Do you want to talk about your loser then?
Yeah, sure. For my loser, I mean, this isn't even on him, but it just is Josh Allen. You gotta you just gotta feel bad for the guy. I mean, at least I feel bad for him. He hasn't turned the ball over. I think in his last three playoff games or four playoff games against the Chiefs, he's got 9 touchdowns, 0 picks, not a single win. So I think he's 0-4 in the playoffs. That's the most against any one singular team or one other starting quarterback, one of the two. And just like it sucks, but they did enough to where they could have won the game. But in order to beat the Chiefs, the freaking voodoo magic that they have and the refs all in one, you really have to just take it from them. Otherwise, it's going to be the same old, and you know, they're back to where they were at and back to where they've been the last, 4 years. So it's sad to see, and I feel for the guy, especially because of how he's played. He's played great.
Yeah, I mean we'll definitely get into that when we talk about all the games that happened, but I agree with you. Um, tough on him. And I guess I'm gonna take the loser is just the NFL refs. And again, we'll kind of talk about this more in covering the actual games, but just the inconsistency throughout at least the last couple of years. They're really on a pedestal now. People are starting to pay a lot more attention to them, and they continually come up short. I don't know what it's going to take. Be interested to see, one day if they start reviewing everything, pass interferences, face masks, some of those game changers. Um, but at the end of the day, if you're a Bills fan, it doesn't change. I thought he got the first down. I think most people did. But at the end of the day, they're not playing for the Super Bowl now. So, um, could they have made some other plays in that game to win? Sure. But if they get that first down, are they looking at almost a certain victory? Yes. So, um, just you know, tough on them. Hope they get a better performance in the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I mean the refs have been, I think, horrendous all year, to be honest. Like this is no surprise. And then you throw the Chiefs on there and all the fans screaming for nobody want, no one outside of Chiefs fans wants them to get there, and just everyone's infuriated with some of the calls in that game, and it just is the same old we've seen, but
Yeah. And I,
it
I
is
I
what it
think
is.
I think the only way forward, honestly, is to start being able to review more plays. Whether it's, face masks, like what happened to Darnold against the Rams, like whatever week 7 it was in the end zone. You had that one. Um, some of these pass interference calls downfield that are 50-50 get called the wrong way.
Some
Just
of the
stuff like,
intentional groundings as well,
yeah, I
and
mean,
yeah,
we could talk
hits
about,
to the helmet, all that stuff.
but I guess even when they do replay, they're not always correct. Let's look at the Packers game on the kickoff,
Right.
just stuff, I just, I don't know. I think they need the people on the field there to, speed the game up and stuff, but there should be another group of like 10 of them over in New York watching every game and just,
hmm
oh, hey, buddy, you got this wrong. Let's fix it right now. That type of thing. So, um, yeah,
There's too much technology right now, dude, to not be getting some of these calls right. Like, I'm sure you probably heard about that thing about the chip in the football. Did you hear them talking about that?
yeah, I
They were
did.
trying to do that, but it was like so slow that it just didn't work out. But it just seems like it's insane, man.
I mean, like even if you have those down markers and there's like laser, with they can laser it to the football, so it's not like an eye game of did he get to the 38 or whatever it is, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's way too much technology. And it's even a problem in some other sports. I don't know how much you watch soccer, but VAR is horrible. They're making the wrong calls still with VAR. I don't know. I just don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. I just think as well in these massive games, like just so much pressure on the teams. Everyone's anxious. Everyone needs the right call. Everyone's got their emotions tied in, the players, the fans, the coaches. The refs are feeling the pressure themselves, but you need to be getting these calls right. And I don't care if it takes a couple extra minutes in these types of games. Like in the playoffs, dude, get it fucking right. Seriously.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
mean, like Kelsey getting the uh roughing or whatever, after the play, like getting someone's face. Like how can someone not watch that on video and be like, hey, dude, actually he was the one that started it. Why are we doing this? Same thing with who was it? AJ Brown and Lattimore, like took his
oh
helmet
yeah.
off. Like, what are we doing?
Right, right. I did see that as well. Yeah. Definitely some
So
frustration starting to, I think fans are screaming for change here, and I'm sure some coaches are not too pleased as well.
yeah, agreed. So whatever. That'll wrap that up. Want to talk about some headlines quick before we get into clips of the week.
Yeah.
So I
I
guess, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, this first one, I saw this as well. This is crazy, but just an interesting stat here. Joel Embiid has played 446 career games and missed 400 games. So he's basically 50-50 in starting. That is literally,
47%. Yeah, it's horrible.
that is really I mean, it's his knees, man, or that one knee. I don't know if it's his left or his right, but oh man, that's insane.
Yeah, so I guess that was one. I mean, talk about Bronny here when we get to some of the videos. Dude, you see like kind of what's going on with the Pro Bowl? Like people that are making it, people that aren't. Drake May got in. Drake May was 24th in yards, 23rd in touchdowns, had 10 picks, and was 17th in QBR, and is serving the AFC in the Pro Bowl game. Like, what are we? what has this game came to? You know what I mean? Like I remember growing up and it would be like Peyton Manning, uh Brady was usually in the Super Bowl, so not Brady, but like those are like the people you're sending. Brett Favre was always there, just like the actual stud QBs, like AFC, you're telling me like Lamar, Burrow, and Josh Allen, I get one of them probably doesn't want to go or something, but like take someone else besides Drake May at the end of the day is all I'm trying to say here.
Well, yeah, I just think, well, they're not even playing a real game of football anymore, right? It's like
Yeah,
flag football.
flag football, yeah.
Like, dude, nobody wants to watch this stuff anymore. Like, I sometimes like some of the passing challenges, like watching QBs go head to head. Those can be entertaining. Everything else is just a joke. I mean, we're watching dodgeball between two teams. I think it's fun, like the first season to go, I'm sure. But like everyone else just opts out, like especially the quarterbacks. Yeah, all those big time quarterbacks. No one wants to get hurt. No one wants to go waste their time. They got better stuff to do. I don't know how you fix this, honestly. It's very similar to the All-Star game. At least in the All-Star game in the NBA, players always typically play, which is cool. I'm sure you probably heard about the new format this year, which we can talk about some other time. But um, yeah, to get Drake May in there, like it's just bizarre. I mean, there's definitely some other names as well, like Drake making
As
a
Zay Flowers is going or was supposed to go.
yeah.
Like what?
Just like this Pro Bowl that they either need to just get rid of it or they need. I mean, I'm sure they're just gonna try and fix it with these gimmicky sort of games and stuff that they're gonna put on, but I I don't like it at all. Even CJ Stroud declined going to the Pro Bowl. Like he's only a second year player.
Right. And like at least the NBA All-Star game, I'll usually at least watch a little bit because it's has some entertainment. They're just chucking threes and doing dunks and stuff. I can't remember the last Pro Bowl I watched. It had to be pre-2015, like 10 years plus ago. So
I do remember when it was sick. Like you said, Brett Favre back in the day when they all would, it would just be
it,
AFC versus NFC, and everyone would rock their gear, wear their. I don't know if they were all wearing
they
different
were
jerseys, even
no,
sometimes.
they all had the same jersey and they had their team helmets on.
Okay. For some reason, I feel like one year maybe they had jerseys, but I might be incorrect. They definitely always had the helmets, but it just used to be way sicker. I have a vivid memory of Brett Favre playing in it, when I
Same.
was in like
Yeah.
2004 or something like that.
Yeah. And like, dude, I get, non-contact injuries and you don't want to get whatever. Then just can the game or something, you know what I mean? Like flag
Yeah.
football, what are we doing? But
Yeah, no one's watching that.
just want to talk about that. I mean, have you watched any of like the Senior Bowl highlights that have came out and stuff?
I have not watched too many, but I did see the thing about Shiloh, and I watched some clips of him getting absolutely burned.
Yeah, that was bad. I saw that he was getting cooked by like tight ends out of Iowa and shit. And then I saw some stuff about Jalen Milroe just being horrible. A lot of tweets like "Get ready to learn wide receiver, buddy."
Dang.
Shit like that. But I just thought that those are kind of funny. Um,
hmm Yeah, I mean, I don't pay too much attention to the Senior Bowl really, but like, it can be a sign, if you're not showing up,
yeah, and
uh,
it's really not the actual
playing against
game.
top talent.
It's not the game so much
It's like
that matters. It's basically like a pre-combine. So
mm,
just
for
getting
sure.
ready.
But yeah, let's get into Bronny. What's been going on here? This I like this clip. Just I don't know. I mean, I get that the Sixers were out of like missing a ton of starting players, and obviously AD got hurt, but throwing Bronny in like the first quarter was just a massive shock to me. He has been
Yeah.
doing good in the G League, but yeah, let's take a dive into these stats here. So, current NBA stats right now. He's basically only gotten garbage time minutes, and then along with this one game where he actually got minutes, but these are some pretty otherworldly stats. He's got zero point 0.3 points per game, zero point 0.2 rebounds per game, zero point 0.2 assists per game, zero point 0.1 blocks per game, and he is shooting a whopping 9% from field goal range with a 0% three-point shooting percentage. So, yeah, I hear you. I see you saying it's time to have a conversation, and I have to say, I agree. I mean, he doesn't look like I just don't understand why they ever did this and pushed him to do this, and like it just doesn't make sense to me. He should have played like 2 more years in college, but yeah, he ain't ready for it. Let's check out this clip here.
Yeah, and then I'll weigh in a little bit on this, but
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
pass.
nice pass, and then
Good D.
good D, and then just leaves AD out to dry.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, you can say what you want about the points per game, like and rebounds per game. He's not getting many minutes and stuff, but you're still shooting 9%. That doesn't factor in that you're only playing garbage time. You know what I mean? Like you'd expect that to be on par with some other NBA players.
Mhm.
I mean, you're playing if you're in garbage time, they're in garbage time too. So you're playing their second strings. And I get his showings in the G League are pretty impressive. But that doesn't matter. That's like being good in AAA and not being good in the MLB. Like nobody cares. And I I get he's coming off his heart condition, all that stuff, but like clearly he's good enough to play in the G League, like or at least
Right.
healthy enough. So when does that translate? Is it ever going to translate? And yeah, let's 343 in the first quarter.
Yeah, I
Um,
honestly don't. I have no idea what inspired JJ Redick to do this other than his friendship with LeBron.
yeah, and like this is a team that's like above average. I think they're 26 and 19 maybe this year, something like that. So like they're not just looking for stuff, This was like premeditated, like we're gonna put him in, see how he does. And again, he kind of, failed the test, so
Hmm.
to say. And got one more for you here.
Oh, that's his three-pointer.
Like you're wide open. I
Dude,
mean,
that's the one, like, it's just it's crazy to watch Dalton Connect go out there and just cook. Like, I guess I totally get they're completely different players, but Brownie just he's not ready for this, dude. So why make him go out on the big stage and then have JJ Redick say, oh, he didn't play well? Like, you're just setting this guy up for early failure and on the highest, on the biggest stage with your dad on the team. It just doesn't seem right. It seems so forced, man.
agreed.
And but I don't know, LeBron, this is pretty good too.
Let's get into this.
I saw a lot of clips. I don't even know what league this is, but
Isn't this
Angel
the
Reese
All-Star game?
Angel Reese didn't want she
She
had
wanted
some
no part of that breakaway layup.
no, because she
That's
would have
what
gotten like 4 rebounds and then probably missed each
just stat
individual
padding.
shot. Just stat padding. But is
I
this the
mean,
All-Star game?
I think so. I don't know what else that would be. Like team rose and team missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I saw another one of her shooting a three where she just airballed it, which was kind of funny. But
I mean, dude,
obviously,
you could go watch any random woman's game and see any sequence where it's brick, rebound, layup, miss, offensive rebound, layup, miss, offensive rebound, kick out, brick, out of bounds, like turn the ball over. It's like no hate, but holy, it's just not a good product. Anyone that says they deserve the same amount of money is crazy. The league is insolvent. They don't even make money. They get literally all their money from the NBA. So, um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I guess
shout
they're
out my
not.
links. Shout out my links, ladies. Though we made a championship run last year. Couldn't quite get it done, but
That's a
Nafisa Collier, she a dog. She a
that's
dog.
pride and joy of Minnesota sports.
Dude, damn near. Honestly, it's only championships we've been sniffing for, I don't
Um,
know, the last 40 years.
I do have this Shiloh video you can watch real quick. Um,
Let us know in the comments, if you like us running these little clips. We might start running more of them.
so here's
So
Shiloh cooked Tutty.
they're
This is the one I was talking about with the is Iowa guy just um,
absolutely kidding.
and I can't even recognize what that helmet is. Is that ECU maybe?
I think that's Cal.
That's Cal. That was more yellow.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. No, you're right.
That's I think that's Tyler Warren though. He's actually a stud, so I get that. But
What is Shiloh Sanders projected right now in the draft?
sixth or seventh round, I believe.
Okay. So
I mean, it's nothing
yeah.
special. It's nothing special. It's just funny, like, the
Yeah.
name and then seeing him get cooked. And then, like, I guess this is one other thing. I just LeBron James versus Charlotte career, way less games, more points, more assists than everyone on Charlotte Hornets roster. So, I
Dude,
mean,
he's got 2,200 less games and almost 3,000 more points than an entire squad. Oh,
that's
I don't
insane.
understand how that's possible. How is
I
that
don't,
actually?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
real?
Yeah, it is. This guy's smoking rocks. I mean, by the numbers, the Hornets will score 10.4. He doesn't understand that it's the team's, like every player on their team career, not like,
Oh,
so it's,
I see. Okay,
yeah,
more, I see. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah. So,
Uh, that is still insanity, dude. LaMelo Ball about to change that though. He about to change that.
yeah, I got one more.
We'll
I got
see.
one more for you lower here.
Wait, I
Where
missed.
we have MVP Saquon. Just kidding. It's backup running backup running back, Will Shipley. So I mean, take
We trying to go
deduce
down this route.
deduce what you want from this clip, but um, I'm just gonna put that out there that they're making this guy look like a stud, and he was good at Clemson. Don't get me wrong, but should he be doing that in the NFL? No, let's just not even. So yeah, I just want to get that one in there while I had you on the screen share.
Yeah, for a little bit of background knowledge, me and KB got into it a little bit on Sunday about who essentially is the better running back between Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley. The one thing I did not know is that Josh Jacobs is only 26. So I think Saquon is having a generational year. Obviously, you could accredit that to his offensive line. I mean, it definitely is a major factor, but it's not like they didn't have DeAndre Swift last year and he didn't put up any career numbers. Um,
Yeah,
I just, I just think I
the
think
argument
Saquon is
was
more talented.
the argument was not is he a better running back? It was about talent and would Josh Jacobs be able to do the same thing with that offensive line? And I think just I my argument was that Jacobs is a better pass catcher. He's probably a little more physical. He's not as fast, but um, I don't know. It's up for interpretation. I
It's
don't
up
think
for
you.
interpretation.
I
Let us
just,
know in the comments what you think.
yeah, I'm just not apologizing for that take.
I don't think it's not a horrible take. I mean, saying he's a better pass catcher, I guess you could say he has better hands, but also Josh Jacobs caught his first career reception touchdown this year. He only has one ever.
He
That's
just wasn't a back that did that with the Raiders. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't the third down running back. I mean, he did lead the league with them in rushing. But yeah, I don't
it'd
know.
be curious. I mean, I'd be curious to see. I mean, it is true that the Eagles make I mean, their O-line, the history of their O-line, just the
I mean, they
dogs
made
they
it.
got
They
up
made
front.
a really good player, a great player. Whether
Yeah.
and he was still good on the Giants. Don't get me wrong, but it just when you're a running back and you're not getting hit till 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, league average is 1.1 yard, I think. Um, it's just easy. Like he's that first touchdown run he had, broke a couple tackles, but he didn't get touched for 20 yards. Like he's literally moving at 20 miles an hour by the time he gets touched, and he's trying to get arm tackled by some DBs. Like it's the same thing
Well,
with Derrick Henry. Like when they get him in space, like you can't stop him. Are you kidding me? Um, so I mean that's just a huge
what do
part.
you, right. What do you think Josh Jacobs would have had on the Eagles this year, yardage wise?
Probably close to 2K if you got the ball as many times.
Like 17, 1800 maybe?
Close to 2K. I think he has more than Derrick Henry. I think he leads the league.
I mean, these are all hypotheticals here, so it's hard to really say. I'd be curious what their average speed is, in open space.
I know
I would assume,
Saquon was faster running the 40. I know that.
right.
Um, but I don't think he's also as big as Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs is more physical, a little stockier, more of like a power back per se, whereas Saquon is a mix of power, speed, finesse. Like he has more of that,
I
but
think
he's
he's got
just
the big play, like kind of the big play ability a little bit more, but maybe he's not as gritty when the hole closes. Maybe he doesn't have to grind for as many yards. I mean, I think there's arguments to be made on both sides. I think Saquon deserves his respect for his season,
I'm not
and I don't think it should
disrespecting
be
him.
mitigated by having a great O line.
I'm not saying any of that. I just wanted to make it clear that a good player becomes a great player when you're surrounded by really good players too. So,
It's true. It's true. He's thriving off of success in multiple areas. So we'll leave it at that for now. Maybe we can circle back in the future once we get to
yeah.
the dog days. Um, yeah, should we move on to some of these other, or do we want to talk about um, some of
Yeah.
these NBA trade
I mean,
headlines?
yeah, trade deadline's coming up. I think it's February 7th. Today is January 29th when we're recording, so there's about a week. But every year there's something that goes down. This year, I feel like I don't know, I haven't heard as much buzz or like people already on the move as previously. I know
Mhm.
D'Lo got traded, but like that was like you basically had to be like in the depths of NBA Twitter to even see that. Um,
Or a former Wolves fan.
yeah. So I guess I don't know. Yeah, you talked about De'Aaron Fox, Jimmy Butler are like the two names.
hmm
Um, I don't know. I guess so the Suns got 3 first round picks from the Jazz. Maybe they're trying to use those picks to get somebody. I don't really know. I
Yeah,
feel like they're like have a decent team, but they're in cap hell. I know that. They like
yeah.
so I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, I guess I don't know. What do you anticipate
I
happening?
mean, kind of what I've heard amongst these two, the two biggest stars right now is it sounds like De'Aaron Fox does not want to commit at all to the Kings long term. So I can't remember if his deal is out in 2025 or 2026, but this is kind of a surprising headline is that, it seems like he wants out and his top three choices, I can't remember what they all are, but one of them is the Spurs for sure. And that might be his top choice right now,
Who is
which
it?
the Spurs,
No, who? Who are you talking about?
oh,
De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron
Yeah.
Fox, yeah. So, I mean, the Spurs, Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, that would be pretty nasty. I don't necessarily want that to happen that bad, because it would shake things up in the West a little bit. But he's not going to come to Minnesota. I know that for a fact. I know Minnesota's in a lot of these trade talks just with their current roster, getting rid of Cat. We don't have money for that, so forget about that, Wolves fans. Um, and then Jimmy Butler as well. Sounds like I know there was some talk of him maybe going to the Suns. Like you said, they have all those picks. The Lakers, I've heard in conversation. And then most recently, yesterday, the news came out that the Miami Heat have interest in Julius Randle. So a potential Jimmy Butler reunion in Minnesota would be insane. I mean, I know he's just a cancer when he doesn't like what's going down, but he's still an all-star and has been to two championships in the last like 6 years. I know he hasn't won either of them, and one of them was in the bubble, but how could you kind of not be interested to see what your team could be like adding just a dog like he is.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, he's postseason player. Love to have those. I guess my concern are the Wolves going to make the postseason. It's it's tight. It's tight in the West at that like 8 through 12 spot. Um,
We'll
but
we'll 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 be in the postseason here. Don't you worry, Kevin. Don't you worry. We're starting to get our feet under us a little bit here. We
yeah,
we
but
uh we
there's
won three straight.
two teams behind them I think are better. I mean, Suns, Mavs. So Wolves are 7, Suns are
I don't know
half.
really how you could say the Suns are better though. Do they have more talent? Yes. Are they been able to put it together at all?
Well,
No.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna move Nurkic because he doesn't play. Um, Maybe one of those picks and try to get somebody that can help. So, um, I don't know. That's a team like they're just creeping along, and I just wouldn't want to be like a 2 or 3 seed and then have to play them first round. Um, and I mean the Mavs haven't had Luca in how long, and they're a game back of or half game as well back of the T Wolves. So 7, 8, 9 right there is you
It's
know
definitely, yeah. And I'm going to be honest, like even the 8 through the 4 are all very close. It's not like there's going to be a lot of things that I think are still going to get shaken around here. I mean, obviously, it seems like the OKC is the favorite for running away with things here in the West, considering they're up 5.5 games even to the Rockets, um,
yeah.
12.5 over the Wolves. But, there's only, let's see here, between the fifth seed and the 10th seed, there is only
2.5.
2.5 games of separation. So anything could happen realistically. And are the Warriors going to be able to pull it together and get in? That remains to be determined as well.
Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, if the Spurs make a move, they might be able to. And if the Kings get the right piece back, Sabonis has been playing like an all pro. That guy, every time I check his stat lines, it blows me away. He's putting up like 20, 15 every night, like old school NBA numbers. I guess he's literally averaging 21 and 14 and a half. So I guess that would make sense. But yeah, dude's
Yeah, he's
crazy.
a very, very underrated piece over there for sure.
So
Should we
yeah,
get into, should we just, considering we're already on the topic, should we just go right into what we think is our top 10 power rankings?
yeah, let's do it. Why don't you lead us off and kind of just I don't know. You don't have to give us a reason for every single one,
Yeah,
but like just, talk about why you're ranking who where.
sure, sure. Yeah, so at my one, I think, and I'm not even going to base this. I'm kind of basing this just on regular season right now. I'm not basing this off of, I'm not really adding in all of the aspects of prior postseason success or what players have won championships. I'm just kind of going on where we sit right now in the NBA. I'm gonna go at my one. I'm gonna go OKC. I think that speaks for itself. You know, they are 37-8 with the best record in the NBA. I think they deserve that spot. Next up, I've got the Cavs in there. They are, yeah, next up I got the Cavs. They are 37-9, also a great record. Do I think the Cavs are going to beat the Celtics in a one-on-one series? No, um, not right now at least. But um, I'm basing this off of what I'm seeing right now today in the NBA. Do I think they are the better team right now? Yes. So my number three, just mentioned it, the Celtics. Defending champs. Yeah, they've hit a couple hiccups in 2025. Haven't looked that great as of late. I think their last 10 is 5-5. So they've been dropping some games, but so have the Cavaliers. I just um yeah, I'm gonna put them at the three for now. Knicks, I've been very impressed with the Knicks so far. Obviously, it's extremely frustrating for me to watch Karl Anthony Towns have a freaking career MVP like season thus far, considering we got back pennies, but I'm gonna have to just live with it because it is what it is, and it's over. So yeah, very impressed with the Knicks right now. Mikal Bridges been great. Cat's been great. Brunson, Josh Hart. They got some dogs over there for sure. And I think they could rival. I would almost consider them more of a threat than the Cavs in the playoffs, but I just think they're a little bit more experienced. Donovan Mitchell hasn't really seen that success, but I don't know if the Knicks have been to a conference finals, but whatever. I'll continue going. Do you know if they have been actually?
No,
Yeah, they haven't been. So at least not for a long time. So not with this squad or not with Brunson. So next up, I got the Rockets. They've had a good season. Very impressed with their young players. That Amon Thompson, he just hit a game winner. Everyone's raving about him. I think we need to pump the brakes a little bit, but he is an extremely talented player and really good on the defensive end. Grizzlies, I'm not really sure what to make of this team. I'm having them at the 6. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing. But we'll just leave it there. I'm gonna have them at the 6. Nuggets 7. Bucks 8. I think the Bucks, they've definitely started to string some things together here. What seed are they right now?
I think they're
Looks like
4.
they're four seed, 26 and 19. So it's a solid record. I got them in my top 10. Lakers are another one where I'm like, I don't really trust this team just because Anthony Davis, if he goes down, like we saw last night, they lost to the Sixers without anyone on their roster. And Anthony Davis seems to be made of glass. So at times, don't get me wrong, he's a freaking dog, but I don't know, a little nervous, but they still have LeBron, they have weapons around them. I think they're looking to add another piece, whether that be a big man or another point guard. And then at my 10, I got kind of the Mavs and the Wolves tied. This might be, I the Mavs and the Wolves, just considering the success they had last season, and I know they've struggled early on. Mavs are missing Luca. The Wolves they just added so many pieces to their roster where they don't really have the chemistry, or they didn't for a majority of the season. I think they're starting to put some wins together. Finally 4 games over 500. So yeah, that's kind of where I sit right now.
I'm going Celtics at 1. I understand OKC Cavs have better records, but I just defending champ, most talented team by far to me. Number 2, OKC, because they're the second most talented, kind of leading the West right now just by sheer force. Seem to beat everyone. Third's gonna be the Cavs. Like I understand their record's really good. I mean, you look at their roster, kind of look how they play. I don't know how sustainable it is, but I've been saying that since like the third week of the season. So maybe they'll keep proving me wrong. I don't know. Um, Fourth spot, and this is only because my 5 and 6, I don't trust anyone on that team. I'm taking the Bucks at 4. Just proof of work. Been to finals, won the NBA championship this year. They're what they need to win, they can win. They can pretty much probably beat anyone at will besides Celtics, OKC, in my opinion. Then you got the Knicks, Rockets, 5, 6. These are interchangeable, kind of deeper teams. Rely on everyone to do stuff. And I just not really scared of either of those teams. Particularly the Rockets. They're so young. They got guys playing really well for being young, but I if the Rockets are home against what is that, 7 seed in the West, I'm taking whoever's a 7 seed. So
Right. Could be like a Lakers, could be a Mavs, could be a Wolves, there's
yeah,
Suns even, they could just get, out experienced basically.
right. So I just don't trust them. I mean, Sevens and Nuggets, they haven't played great this year, but Jokic is still top 3 player in the league. So
Mm.
consistent. So just lean on him. That's all you got to do, lean on him. It's always tough to go to Denver too. So take them at 7, and then 8, 9, 10. I mean, this is all. I think the Mavs are the best team of the remainers when they're healthy. Just Luca, Kyrie, and then getting some support from PJ Washington, guys like that, but they don't need much. Luka and Kyrie. Nine Lakers. Again, it's kind of in the territory of you can pick just take a coin flip of who you want between Lakers, Grizz, 9-10. I mean, Grizz, I don't understand how they're even doing as well as they are. John Morant's been horrible this year, coming off injury, suspension, that type of thing. He just really hasn't looked good. Desmond Bane's been playing really well for them. Um, and then just honorable mention again, like basically from 9, 10, 11, 12, it's we got Wolves, Suns, Magic. It's just whoever can be healthy kind of at the end of the year. Magic were hurt all year. Looked pretty good towards the end of last year. Then obviously Miss Paulo all year. Franz Wagner, I think, has been dealing with some stuff. You got the Wolves that are just kind of inconsistent right now. I've haven't watched a ton of their games, but the ones I have watched, seems like they've been either blowing leads or making games really close at the end. So just kind of looking to find someone that can close it for them. And their defense is
Uh,
good. Like,
their
but
defense is like top two in the West. I don't, maybe even top three in the entire NBA.
I
But
saw,
yeah,
yeah, there were six in the NBA in defensive rating. I saw today.
okay, yeah.
So it's,
Oh,
they're good on D. They're just really inconsistent scoring the basketball
for
outside of
sure.
Anthony Edwards. And then, I mean, the Suns in that group too of, you know, really good talent, kind of questionable, just how they can't put it together, I guess. You got Booker, Katie, Beal. Like I said earlier, Nurkic is who I thought was like he's not an elite center, but he's like a starting center on 15, 20 teams in the NBA. Got benched randomly, and now they're looking to move him. So I guess who they can get back for him is kind of a big deal. If they can get another piece to help, especially filling some minutes off the bench. I think that's really their problem right now. But yeah, that's my top 10. 10 to 13 or so, kind of 9 through 13, pick your poison. But
Yeah, I think it's fair. We got a lot of similar teams on the rock or on our um top tens. Honestly, might have them all just kind of scattered throughout the top ten. Other than the Wolves, who you have sitting right outside. But um, yeah, no, I mean,
I think
curious to see ya.
Celtics, OKC, and Cavs are basically top three, whatever order you want to put
Locks.
them in. And then
Right.
kind of after that, are you going off potential currently, that type of thing.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Curious to see how rest of the season shakes out, but those three seem to be mortal locks for being top two seeds in their divisions or conferences, excuse me.
Agreed.
All right. Should we get into our conference championship games then?
Yep. Start off start off with the Eagles 55, Commanders 23. I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was an absolute ass whooping. The Eagles really took it to the Commanders. It was a decent game in the first half. Kind of wish the Commanders would have, after moving the ball all the way down the field on that first drive, would have gone for the touchdown there. I guess I kind of understand getting the points, but their defense, obviously Saquon ripped off a 60-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. He was barely touched, and then just horrendous tackling when they actually finally got to him, and he just took it to the house. I think Saquon is, I'm curious to see, in the Super Bowl how what the Chiefs are going to do to try and mitigate him. But yeah, three rush touchdowns for Saquon and Hurts each. I think there was seven total rushing touchdowns. Is that correct? I want to say from the Eagles, something like that. Definitely six total from those two. Um, Commanders great season. Hats off to them for making it as far as they did. They just, are not as much of a complete team. The Eagles are really just a complete roster here. Hurts had a good game as well. You know, he looked back into form a little bit on his throws. He had a bit of a rough showing the week prior. But yeah, I was impressed. I'm not hyped that the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl, but not really surprised here. How about you? What'd you see?
Yeah, I said this game kind of was based on if Jalen Hurts is playing at 100% or not, and clearly he was. Um, some really costly turnovers by the Commanders were unfortunate and really let this game get out of control. Was it three fumbles? So, I mean,
Yeah, all those fumbles were rough.
and they just came at inopportune times. I guess that was really the moral of the game. I mean, they couldn't stop the run, clearly. Jalen Hurts passed the ball a little bit more efficiently. AJ Brown looked really good. Goddard was always open. So it just really seemed like the Commanders' luck had run out. Um, but great season by them. Not much to really say. I mean, this game was kind of for if you were a Commanders fan, they had to get off to a hot start and play mistake-free football. And like you said, they came down, kicked the field goal, looked decent to start, and then I think next drive, or Eagles scored a touchdown first play, and then just was fumble ball right back. And at that point, it was like, you know what, this isn't much. I mean, it was like Jaden Daniels versus 22 players on the Eagles. So, good season overall by them, but just not enough firepower to keep up.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you think could you see the Commanders back in the conference championship game next year or within the next 2 to 3 years? Or do you think this was kind of like their opportunity to sneak through with some of these, perhaps better overall teams, but not better quarterbacks, falling out early and getting knocked out early in more difficult competitions?
Yeah, I think they'll be back. I don't know how soon. They really have to improve the defense, to be honest, in my opinion. They have fine players at skill positions. I mean, McLaurin, Diami Brown played really good. Ertz is old. Sounded like he might retire the way he was talking after the press conference, but their offense is not their problem. It's really their defense. So just see if they can improve on that. And again, it's going to come down to who makes the playoffs next year, and it's all just case by case. They might get matched up with the Lions again. Maybe they got to go to the Eagles again, stuff like that. It's like, but it was really a fairy tale season for them at the end of the day. So
Yeah. No, hats off to them. I mean, I'd be over ecstatic with, just even making it this far.
do you see
Um,
this stuff with Dan Snyder? Um,
no,
so he was the old owner, and like
I know who Dan is, yeah.
he's just like pissed off that they were doing well because he obviously sold them. And I guess like right before he went to sell them, he wouldn't send the guy his like bank account info, like trying to like keep the team. So he like moved out of the country now and is like living in England or some shit and doesn't even watch football. So
Oh
just
man.
tough situation for him, but thought it was funny.
He switched to the other football. Yeah, I mean, this guy's a clown anyways. So says he hates it
Yeah.
as far as the title run. What an insane story, dude. The
Yeah.
story of disgraced NFL owner. Yeah, I mean, he's just done some dumb stuff over the years. I can't, I haven't paid that much close to attention to it, but listening to other podcasts, hearing about it, and just seeing some stuff in the news, he's just a clown. So,
Yeah, he
screw.
reminds me of like a lot of the MLB owners that just every year put out some bullshit talent on the field. And, the A's, for example, like just dog shit every year, refuse to spend money, don't do anything to their stadium, nothing for the fans. And then eventually gets, I don't know, blackmailed is not the right word, but forced to sell because of your just neglect, basically. So,
Yep, yep. Yeah, well, let's get into our next game here. This one was the one I think everyone was waiting for. We kind of knew it was coming at a point. Wasn't sure if maybe the The Ravens were going to be the team playing the Chiefs, but I think we all knew the Chiefs were going to be in this, and it was either going to be Bills or Ravens. But Chiefs 32, Bills 29. The Chiefs do it yet again. What'd you see?
Mm, I mean, I could point to the obvious that the first down was clearly first down, and that at that point of the game, if the Bills end up getting more points there, if you see if they get a touch, I think they're up two. So I mean, a touchdown there makes it a two-score game, 9-point game. That could be over. Hard to say, but I mean, that's just egregious. There was another play with Xavier Worthy where the ball almost clearly hit the ground. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so there was that. I mean, no, it's I did see also at the last play of the game, they threw a flag and picked it up. So whether that was going to be something on the Bills, if they would have caught it, I don't know what it was, but I think it's really easy to point at the refs and just say it was a bad showing because it was. But outside of that, kind of looked like the Bills, they just didn't look ready almost. Kind of got
They
ran
didn't they didn't
through.
come out hot, right? Like
Right, they got
they needed
ran
to kind of
through.
right their defense, keep going, but yeah.
So like that, like the defense just literally got blown up first drive. And then like they didn't give the ball to James Cook. Like I looked at one point and he had a rush, Ty Johnson had a rush, Ray Davis had a rush. Like they just weren't really feeding their second most talented player on offense. Um, so it was really questionable on that. And it just they had their opportunity to go up two scores there, kept running the tush push that didn't work all game. Um, and lo and behold, they end up losing. So I guess you point fingers at the refs, point fingers at the offensive coordinator, head coach, but this is not Josh Allen's fault. Um, They backpacked him all year like he always does, and just got let down by, again, their head coach, who I think has been making these mistakes for years. Um, and an offensive coordinator that had been pretty good, highly coveted as a head coach in the next year or two. He just kind of, I don't know if the moment was too much for him, but the tush push, they probably had to have ran it 6 times, and they got maybe 5 yards total, and these were on big plays where third and one or third and two to make it a fourth and inches or fourth and one to turn, so end of the day, it's whatever, devil magic's back and you know,
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you here. That tush push as well. It's not even, I don't even know if you could call it that. Essentially, what they're doing is they're running something similar. But I think what they're doing is they're just, because Josh Allen is so big, they're like, we'll just kind of let him try and get there by himself and, give a little bit of a shove, but it's not a legit, it's literally just a QB sneak. It's not what the Eagles are doing. And yeah, they tried it again and again. Gotta just feel bad for Josh Allen on that frickin' miracle throw that he had, Dalton Kincaid. I mean, I know that's a tough catch, but dude, just right through his hands on that, kind of Hail Mary play at the end there. I think it was Shakir was open, running kind of a sort of like a wheel route or just, out of the flat basically on the left side. But however, the Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, hats off to him. They ran like a perfect blitz, just distracted Josh from everything. They got through real quick and he just basically had to heave one up at the end there and just they couldn't come down with it. But yeah, there's definitely some bad calls in the game. Obviously, I agree that was a first, it looked like a first down. They just gave him a horrible spot. I don't know if there's more blame on the initial spot on third down where Kincaid was definitely either got the first down or was like an inch away, but they moved it back like a few feet, damn near a yard from where it looked like he went down. And then, the sideline refs just couldn't, or the line judges couldn't agree on it. And, um, you know, it, It definitely, I mean, I don't know if it lost them the game. There was, plenty of weird calls. There's yeah, obviously that one that you brought up, the Xavier Worthy catch where it looks like it's picked almost. It hits the ground. It doesn't really look like Worthy ever had possession, but it's hard to tell whose hand is really whose hand is really gripping it. And then it goes to offensive player, and then they just get away with that. But, extremely extremely disappointing, end to the season there for the Bills. Really, we both had them going prediction to the Super Bowl, beating the Chiefs, but like you said, the devil magic prevails. Mahomes is gonna continue to Mahomes, and he didn't do anything to lose him the game. You know, 11 rushes. I mean, he continues to use his legs even more now, it seems like, since he's got a lack of kind of really good receiving weapons. Juju Smith-Schuster had a couple big catches in there. Shout out Matt Collins on Buffalo too. He had some clutch grabs and a touchdown, but
Yeah,
it's
touchdown
just
catch was sick.
it sucks for them, man. It really does. It sucks for the Bills. It's gut wrenching, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how you feel if you're Josh Allen, but um, what can you do to beat this freaking team other than sweep the leg on Patrick Mahomes and maybe shoot all the refs? No, I'm just kidding. But it's a joke, YouTube. But yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy they do it again. Now we get the rematch. So obviously we got a full week here before, but going back to that 2022 Super Bowl rematch, Chiefs Eagles again. Freaking the script, dude. It's just like get me out of this hell we're living in.
So I always forget about this play because one I remember is the pass interference that the Chiefs ended up winning the game on. But do you remember the Jalen Hurts Hail Mary?
Yes, yes. Where I think yes. He threw it
He
like
managed to throw it like
maybe like
40
35,
yards.
40 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw a video of that the other day. That was
I did too. We must have similar algos on Twitter. I feel like we're looking at a lot of the same clips, but yeah, no. I think that what the story was is that he slipped, his footing slipped,
yeah,
but
okay.
I mean they had an opportunity to, some like dude, those like last minute Super Bowl Hail Marys, I know they usually never like end up hitting or rarely ever, but a lot of times it's like, it's so close. It might just because it's so analyzed, on the biggest play, but no, that one was he was a good 20 yards from the end zone, I want to say. So,
Yeah, throwing it from like the 35 or 40.
but yeah, that was
Tough watch.
tough. So,
But yeah, look ahead. I mean, Chiefs by 1.5. I saw the line was. And you know what? I'm just not gonna hate the devil ever. So I
yeah.
think if the Eagles got the Bills, it'd be a much better chance of them winning. But I think that it's gonna be a close game and the Chiefs are gonna win on a Samaj Perine fucking like just something
Like
absurd,
a
you know?
hold on Samaj P. Ryan on like a little freaking like
It-
a wheel route or something that
yeah,
ends the game.
yeah. So good luck, Eagles fans. Just wouldn't just
You should be proud of, yeah.
anticipate the bullshit that's about to happen. Don't get too high. So
I don't know who I'm going to be. I have no idea. Like, I- I'll watch this game, honestly. I'm sure it's going to be a very entertaining football game. But, like, on one hand, do I want the Eagles to win? No, they're one of my most hated teams in the NFC. It's just them and the Saints, basically, and now this new look Lions team. And on the other hand, the Chiefs three-peat. Just like, dude, make it stop, bro.
yeah,
Anything to do to make it stop. Make it all stop. This
yeah,
freaking
I agree. I don't want to hear about the Chiefs 3P all off season. But I also just don't want to hear about Philly fans all off season either. So I also don't want to hear Jalen Hurts is elite. just like all that. So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, this is an Eagles team too that when they were 2-2 were like calling for Sirianni to be executed like publicly. So, you know,
It's crazy.
I mean they're in the Ryan Day arc basically, So
They had a whole ass character arc, dude.
we'll
Like,
we'll see. I just think I'm not I've learned enough. Like Mahomes is Mahomes. It's basically Brady, you know what I mean? Like why would you even if you lose taking him, you're still on the right side because more often than not, he's gonna win. So
you
another
said it's
th
-1.5 Chiefs right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
They'll win
well,
by one, guaranteed.
yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be some devil magic, and I'm
also I
curious. I'm curious to see how Saquon plays in this game. I feel like a lot of times when a team with like an elite running back makes a Super Bowl, like their running back like fumbles early or like not loses them the game, but doesn't have one of their incredible showings. Not this is just like
This is a
pure.
Chiefs team too that has really good linebackers and Chris
This
Jones
is
obviously up front. Like this is not a Commanders team. Rams even. This is like elite linebacking and top two defensive tackle in the game. So
Trent
um
McDuffie too. That guy's a dog. Not gonna
yeah.
lie.
So I mean he's gonna be on AJ Brown the whole time. But I mean up front it's gonna be a battle. So especially Spagnola and the stuff he'll call up, timely blitzes, see if he can. I guess this is Jalen Hurts' time, you know what I mean? Lost the first one he was in. Uh, there's
I
been
mean, that
no QB since the Bills went like in their 4 game stretch has went to the Super Bowl, lost their first one, and ever won a Super Bowl after.
I think I did hear that. I think I did hear that. Is that with
So
coaches as well?
I'm not sure. I know that's QB. Yeah,
Andy
and
Reid did it.
because they were
So
calling it
I think
the
it's just QBs, yeah.
Jim Kelly curse or whatever. So um,
Right.
I guess that applies to like Joe Burrow. Um, obviously Jalen Hurts. That's why I didn't want the Commanders honestly to make it. Because imagine Jaden Daniels loses his first and your rookie year, never go back and win another. Fuck, that would suck. But yeah, Hurts would be the first one since whatever that was, 75, 78, way a long time ago. So
Maybe we just needed Joe Burr, dude. Icy Joe. Maybe he's the only one that can ever take down Mahomes. I don't know. But
yeah, I'll tell you,
yeah, we're back where we were. What's up?
It's not CJ Stroud. I'll tell you that.
No, he doesn't. He ain't got the O
Josh
line. He
Josh
ain't got the
Allen's the
weapons.
best chance, but it's I'm so sick of hearing that he's not the MVP. Like the Ravens are such a better team than the Bills. Like this guy backpacks them every season and should have won one of the last two MVPs in my opinion. Um, and now Lamar has Derrick Henry to give the ball to. So it's like you think what he's doing there is more impressive than what Josh Allen is doing. Like, give me a break.
If Lamar wins it, I will be infuriated that I did not throw down on his 16 to 1 odds at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Um,
just don't
it's
listen.
like almost like it's weird how things are going. It's like similar in the NBA, It's like Jokic every year, just these guys that can. I hope he better not win it yet. It better go to Josh, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. Do you
I can't.
know?
The odds are like Josh Allen minus like 400 or something. So I mean he's
Mhm.
clear favorite, but like that doesn't even really matter at the end of the day. So
Give this man something, dude. He deserves it.
yeah.
Just back in a team of, I mean, other than his running back, there's
Yeah,
there's
his
no
running back,
crazy stud
dude,
skill players. I mean,
Zay
Shakir's
Flowers would be
quick.
Zay Flowers would be like the best player he's ever had on his team besides Diggs for
Yeah.
like Mark Andrews would be
Doesn't Mac Hollins play on special teams?
yeah, he does.
I'm pretty sure he does. Like,
Is there technically like wide receiver four? Because you got Shakir Coleman. Um, and I guess Amari, if Amari's not playing special teams, old ass. So it'd probably be those three and Matt Collins, 3, 4, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But that touchdown catch he had, like got me pumped up kind of. I didn't think there was any way he was gonna catch that. Hell of a play. And there was like a fourth down play, I think, or a third and long where he had another really good catch. So
Dude, it's just crazy. Like, God, especially, especially in the AFC, it's like it just seems like exactly. It's infuriating, bro. It's just and then everything happens so fast. Like it seemed like Josh Allen was gonna drive him down the field, and all of a sudden it's, fourth and whatever, 4th and 10, and they're getting freaking he has no like he just has to throw up a Hail Mary ball. Just oh man, I mean, it's just frustrating, dude. It's like
I mean, dude, it's
it's
like
such high pressure situations, and it's just like you're playing against such
it's
someone that's got it. Yeah,
LeBron when he was in the East, dude. He's gonna be in the finals every year. And that's basically what the AFC's been with Mahomes and Brady for the last 15 years. So you just
good.
know
More than
they're gonna
that,
be the
even.
yeah, like if you're in the
Yeah,
same conference, like
thank God.
try to win in 2030 at this point. Like just
Start.
stock some picks up. Don't spend any money.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. And you just got all these elite QBs in that East too. It's like, holy crap, how did this all align?
Yeah,
But
whatever.
all right, well, I unless you got anything else to touch on, I'd say that's about the episode here.
Yeah, like I said, next week, full Super Bowl, kind of preview it a little bit more. Once props, all that jazz kind of gets more cemented, line might move a little bit in between. Um, and then yeah, if you guys made it this far, let us know kind of maybe what you guys want to hear about sports wise. If you liked anything we did different this time, that type of thing. So that's what I
Yeah,
got.
for sure. Like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think, and we appreciate you guys for watching.
Peace.
Peace.